Welcome to Vastu Energy and Lines. Today we have with us Mr. Dipendu Ganguly, the Vastu expert. In our last episode, we discussed about the bedroom. Today's topic is the Brahmasthan. What is Brahmasthan and why it is named after Lord Brahma?
Brahmasthan is the center of the house, or it can be the center of the plot. Now, why it is named after Lord Brahma? There is a small story behind it. I would not go into a lot of legendary things, because it may not interest that much to the viewers. It is said that there was a demon who used to create a lot of problem. He used to devour a lot of people and whatever came in front of him. So, all the gods and goddesses, they went to Lord Brahma. They told him that, look, this demon is creating a lot of problem and he is eating whatever is coming in front of us. Lord Brahma said, okay, there is only one way. All of you consist of 45 gods and goddesses. You all pounce on him and defeat him. Let him fall down on the ground. All the 45 gods and goddesses pounced on him, and that demon fell upside down on the ground. So, from then onwards he is known as Vastu Purusha. So, since he has also an importance in that sector and the segment, that is why Lord Brahma, being the person who also comes into the central place, it is named as Brahmasthan.
What is the importance of Brahmasthan? How does it affect in the overall Vastu in a house?
Yes, Brahmasthan is a very important area for a house or for a plot. I will have to give a little explanation to the viewers for the benefit, why it is important and how does actually Brahmasthan affect the house. For this, I would like to show a small card. Let us say this is a square. Let us say this is a square, and the plot side is, let us say, square, or it can be rectangle, anything. Now, if you draw a cross line, obviously the center is the center of the plot or the center of the house. But Brahmasthan does not mean a small dot, it has an area, it covers an area. So, what is the area? The area is, let me explain in this way, that let us say your house is square, squarely built, or your plot is square. Now, as per the Vastu, you have to make segments, 9 segments vertically and 9 segments horizontally. Each segment, as you can see on this card, they will have houses. So, 9 into 9 is 81. In Vastu, it is called 81 padas or 81 houses, or in a simple language, 81 small square. Now, the center 9 squares or the center 9 pads or the center 9 houses, that is the area of Brahmasthan. Roughly, I can tell you, if there is a flat, a 3-bedroom flat of these days, whatever the size it may be, the Brahmasthan area will be around 3 feet by 3 feet or 4 feet by 4 feet, depending on the entire size of the house, floor area, or it can vary, floor area or the plot size of the plot. So, this is the importance of Brahmasthan. Lord Brahma being in the center, there are 45 gods and goddesses who have sat on this, on the demon or the Vastu Purusha finally, and actually the Vastu Purusha who is lying here, as per the Vastu, his nabhi, his umbilical cord area falls on this area, and Brahmasthan being so important that in Vastu it is called the umbilical cord of the entire house or the plot. Also it is called the remote control for the entire house.
You said the area needs to be kept clean and open, but in flats may not be possible to keep the area totally free. So, what is your advice?
Yes, the Brahmasthan area has to be kept free. It has to be not only kept free, it has to be kept neat and clean. As I told you earlier that this is the central location of the house, and the Vastu Purusha lying flat upside down in a certain position on this area and covering the entire 81 padas or the 81 houses or the small squares for the sake of understanding of the viewers. Now, here if the central place is pressed or it is depressed or there is something on heavy object, obviously if you put something very heavy object on your stomach, on your belly, you will develop a breathing problem. It connects to your heart, it connects to so many other problems. So, that is why what I always suggest, that it has to be kept free and it has to be kept very neat and clean. It is a pious area. You cannot have heavy objects there, you cannot have a pillar there, you cannot have any heavy furniture there. So, that is what it should be.
Suppose the Brahmasthan is not all right as per Vastu. So, what happens to the people living in that house?
Yes, this is a very important question, and one should know the Brahmasthan as it is has to be as per Vastu. Now, as I had told earlier also, I will repeat, suppose there is a plot and the plot should be absolutely flat. It cannot have a depressed Brahmasthan, or it cannot be there cannot be a tortoise like thing, hump like thing in the center. That creates a lot of problem. Similarly, in a flat also, well, in the flat there will be no hump, there will be no depression on there will be a clean, neat and clean floor. If there is a pillar coming on the Brahmasthan, or if there is a beam running on the Brahmasthan, or suppose there is a toilet in the Brahmasthan, the problems are quite dangerous. The problem faced will be the inmates living in the house, they will develop heart problems, they will develop nerve system problems, and every time the digestion problem will be perennial. This just cannot be rectified by any taking any medicines or all that thing. Well, the Brahmasthan has to be rectified, and for rectification of the Brahmasthan, I normally use some yantras. Well, let me also make it very clear that it cannot be done 100%. It can be rectified by around 70% or so by use of yantras, and that is quite safe enough for rectifications. And if anyone has any doubts on this, if anyone wants to rectify his Brahmasthan, well, they can easily contact me on my WhatsApp number or on my email, whatever it is.
Thank you, viewers. I am sure you must have been benefited from our today's episode. Our next episode will be on staircase.